Hello there, I'm Jimmy Vegas, and today I want to talk about a game which I personally consider revolutionary for many different reasons. It's by no means unique, and it's by no means new. It is Stardew Valley. Now, Stardew Valley in and of itself is not a new idea. You could look at something like Harvest Moon that came many years before it, and there you go, that's just Stardew Valley in a nutshell. But the idea of Stardew Valley came from one person, a man called Eric Barone, going by the name Concerned Ape. He created Stardew Valley all on his own, and even to this day it still gets updates. It is a very well-loved game, and if you search for any amount of time on YouTube, you'll more likely come across Stardew Valley. But what makes it so great? It looks like it belongs in the 90s because of its art style. It's very slow-paced, it's no action game, it's no Call of Duty, it's no Resident Evil, it's no Final Fantasy, but what makes this game so loved and adorably great? It is what it is. It is a gentle slice of life game that you could spend an inordinate amount of hours in, creating relationships, growing a business, exploring caves, going fishing, and so much more. I sound like an advert right now, but it genuinely is true. There is so much to do in Stardew Valley that you can spend hundreds and hundreds of hours in it. You could spend more time in it than somewhere like Skyrim, for example. I personally have spent around 200 hours in Stardew Valley, and I love it. Growing your farm, making relationships, getting married, having kids. Yeah, you could probably do all that in real life, but there's something so quaint about it. Its success also spread into many other games, and since the release of Stardew Valley, you'll see things like Sparklight. Now, although this isn't technically like Stardew Valley, its art style is just like Stardew Valley. I would say that although we had that art style back in the 90s, it looked like a Super Nintendo game, that rebirthed that style. And I love Sparklight. I've platinumed this. I haven't even opened this one yet. I will get round to it one day, but as you can see, it's still sealed. But Sparklight intrigued me because it looked a little bit like Stardew Valley. And that was important. But it's not just something like Sparklight. Even getting closer to the modern day, Potion Permit. To me, this isn't Stardew Valley, but it's a very close replica. You do the same sort of things with it, but there's no farming involved, and it looks like it as well. I've platinumed this as well, believe it or not. But Potion Permit takes the Stardew Valley formula and makes it its own rather than be a direct copy. And there are many games out there which are direct copies of Stardew Valley. Why? Because Stardew Valley is so successful. Why do you think people are clamouring now for the Haunted Chocolatier? Will the Haunted Chocolatier come to PlayStation 5, Xbox? No, not anytime soon. Anyway, we'll be lucky if we get it anytime soon on PC. Because Eric Barone, Concerned Ape, is still developing things for Stardew Valley because it is so successful. One man did that. And that is an absolute revolution. It is an inspiration for aspiring video game developers out there. So people who want to make video games but think they can't do it all on their own should take Stardew Valley and take it as inspiration. Because you can make video games all on your own. Eric did it. And even with the process of farming in Stardew Valley, as I said, yes, we had Harvest Moon, but things like that spread games like My Time at Porsche. And there is another one, My Time at Sandrock. There is another one as well, I can't think what it's called right now, but it doesn't look as good. But this is another one that, yes, I've platinumed, and yes, I have it on Xbox that is still sealed. I will get around to playing it on Xbox. This one is a similar style as Stardew Valley. However, the graphics are not the same. This is like a 3D environment. But you could literally see this as like a 3D Stardew Valley. The idea of having your farm, making relationships, getting married, exploring caves. It's literally Stardew Valley, but 3D. Why is that? Well, because Stardew Valley is so successful. Some people don't like the visuals of Stardew Valley, and I get it. I completely get it. But I personally love Stardew Valley. I've got a board game up there, Stardew Valley. It's very intricate, convoluted, and complex to play, but it's good. It feels like Stardew Valley in the real world in a weird kind of way. But this, in and of itself, it knew what it was going to be. It knew it was going to be a success. And this particular one, the collector's edition, has the CD. Yeah, I know, who has CDs anymore? Who has CDs? But the music in Stardew Valley, I think, is what truly pushes it to a beyond a AAA game. I would say it's a quadruple A. Yeah, I know Skull and Bones claimed it was quadruple A, but you know what? No, it wasn't. Skull and Bones was awful. But Stardew Valley knew that it was going to be a smash hit because it captured things that people wanted. And for an aspiring game developer, if you are one, for example, you're on your own, look for things that capture people. Look for anything that's relevant in the world at the moment and make it in your game. For example, Stardew Valley took that slice of life. The slice of life that you get in Stardew Valley, you can escape from. And some people play video games just as an escape to create a new life. Yes, you can look at it as a role-playing game, because technically it is a role-playing game, if you want to look at it that way, because you still do things to level up your character. You know, you get better and better. You play the role of this boy on the farm. Well, I say boy, it's not really a boy, it's a man. That he inherited, and you get to explore and do everything all around the world. So yes, to an extent, it is an RPG. But then you come to something like Potion Permit, and that's where games that try to replicate the success of Stardew Valley fail slightly because they don't take it to that intricate level that Stardew Valley did. And there are many, many other games out there like Stardew Valley, like Potion Permit, like Sparklight. I do actually really like this, if I'm honest. It's really good. There are games just like it that try to imitate certain aspects of Stardew Valley. But I don't think any game has ever and will ever be able to replicate Stardew Valley to perfection. Take in the music, the visuals, the premise, just everything about it. No game will ever be able to do that in one single go. Other games, all put together, might be able to do it in various parts, but nothing will ever come close to Stardew Valley. Now, for many years, people wanted Stardew Valley 2, and that's not something that will ever happen. I do not think we will ever see a Stardew Valley 2, which is why the Haunted Chocolatier exists. I'm very much looking forward to that. For me, Haunted Chocolatier is Stardew Valley, but in a whole new world with a different premise. And that's what people want. That's what people who love Stardew Valley would want. Why would they want the same game again in Stardew Valley 2? It's a whole new world. I'm looking forward to the Haunted Chocolatier, but you know what? I could quite easily put this in my PS5, sit down and just get lost in it for 5, 6, 7 hours. The amount of time that people will spend in this is insane. And you know what makes it great? It's not monetized. If this came out in the modern world on mobile, could you imagine how much it would be milked to death with microtransactions? There would be so many microtransactions that it wouldn't succeed. So the success of Stardew Valley is based on the fact it's just a sole game. You don't need microtransactions. You don't need live services these days to make a game. You really don't. And that is the problem with a lot of games in today's society. They don't take games like Stardew Valley as inspiration in what they should and shouldn't be. So will we see anything like Stardew Valley ever again? Well, apart from Haunted Chocolatier, no. You'll get aspects, like I say, like Sparklight, Potion Permit, but that's as close as you're ever going to get. If you haven't played Stardew Valley, I would implore you to at least try it. Even if you don't like the graphics, even if you don't like the idea of a farming simulator, if you don't like the idea of making relationships or exploring caves, so what? You might find an aspect of Stardew Valley that you will enjoy. There are so many different things. If you can overlook things you don't like in Stardew Valley, for me, fishing, you can easily still love the game just as much as I do. Let's get back to the fishing. I don't know what it is with games and fishing. I've just never liked doing it in any video game. Sega Bass Fishing, if you remember that on Dreamcast, never played it. It was boring. It just didn't interest me. Any game that has fishing, just no. I tend to skip it, that part. So I'll always miss out on a platinum of a game because I've not gone for the fishing trophies. But anyway, that aside, it comes back to, like I say, if you don't like exploring caves, but you like the idea of farming, give it a go. Give it a go, because you'll find it so serene, so relaxing to play. And this is why I think it is a revolutionary game, and it's one in, like I say, it's more than one in a generation. It's one in about 6 million generations, because you'll never see a Stardew Valley again. Haunted Chocolatier will come close, but I genuinely think it won't quite hit that same sweet spot that Stardew Valley did. No disrespect to it, because I guarantee it will be a good game. But to finish this off, if you haven't played Stardew Valley, just go and play it, go and enjoy it. And if you have played Stardew Valley, tell me your thoughts. Tell me I'm exactly right, that it's such a wholesome, lovely game to play. and I will see you in the next one.